Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good morning, everyone. Today we will try to calculate some results like the volt at open circuit, the current at short circuit, the power at open circuit and at short circuit, and the last parameter will be the FF, the fill factor. We'll try to calculate the result, and after that we will calculate the unit of fill factor. Let's start from calculate the photon, the flux of photon unit. Like we seeing here is the photon flux. The photon flux equal P incoming divided on area dot EPH, the energy of the photon, 2 force minus 1. Here watt divided on meter square, or you can say centimeter square dot joule minus 1. But like we know, joule, that's mean equal watt dot second. After that, the last result will be second dot meter square or centimeter square. Now let's work on this circuit. This circuit, like we're seeing here at short circuit, prove or calculate the current at short circuit. Here we will say we have a small resistance inside this battery or the solar cell. From Ohm law, V equal IR, I equal V divided on the resistance. Here we're dealing with a small r, because that I will write small r to do some compression between the resistance, this resistance and the resistance inside the battery or the solar cell. Here I equal V divided R small, I short circuit equal V total divided on R, but here V total equal V minus V open circuit. Because that the general equation to current will be 1 divided on R small dot V minus VOC, voltage at open circuit, divided on the small resistance. Here this constant will be important. If V positively, well, that's mean the current will increase. Negatively, that's mean the current will decrease. Here let's calculate the I short circuit. That's mean this point at this liner, at this line, this diagram between current and voltage. Here we dealing with minus results here under this I equal 0. At short circuit current at short circuit current equal resistance equals 0. That's mean voltage equals 0. I short circuit equal 0 minus VOC divided on R. That's mean I short circuit equal minus open voltage divided on small resistance. Now calculate the current at open circuits. The current at open circuits from Ohm's law, V equal IR, I equal V divided on R. Here small resistance, V total, V equal V minus VOC. That's mean we dealing with the same general current equation, I equal 1 divided on R dot V minus VOC divided on R, like the last question. Now at open circuit, V equal VOC, because that the current will be 0. Note at open circuit, that means R equal infinity. By that, that's mean the current equals 0. Calculate the power equation at short circuits. Like we know, power, that's mean current dot voltage, and calculate the power at open circuit. At short circuit, by using Ohm law, I equal V total divided on R. At the circuit R small resistance, V total equal V minus VOC. We came back to the same general important equation to us. And after that, we can say power equal V dot I. That's mean V dot 1 divided on RV minus VOC on R. Power equal 1 V square on R minus VOC on R. minus minus V dot VOC on R. Yes. Here we will say parabolic shape start from P equals 0 at this at x-axis P at what? At y-axis, at x-axis the voltage. Start the diagram from this point 0 and start to decreasing until this point at the midterm of v-axis. After that, start to increase. Now P at open circuit, that means 0, because at open circuit resistance is infinity, and the current, that means the current equals 0. Current equals 0, that means P equals 0. Now from this equation, P equals 0 at open circuit, let's calculate the V result or value. That's mean here V equal VOC when I equal 0. Like here, V equal VOC, V open circuit when I equal 0. Now calculate the value at the mid of the parabolic figure, or V at the mid of this x-axis. We can say VP or Vmpp. We will discuss that later. Calculate the minimum power. Here, at this minimum power, after this point, the parabolic figure will start to increase. From the same general equation, I equal V on R minus VOC on R. P equal V dot I, that's mean P watt unit equal V square on R minus V dot VOC on R. VP is the voltage at the mid parabolic figure at minimum power value. Here V equal VP, like I said before. Because that I write it VP here and VP here, instead the V. Now let's take the derivation of power, that means 0, and calculate the VP. VP here equal VOC divided on 2. VP, or we can say Vmpp, maximum power point voltage. After that, we calculated this point at the mid x-axis equal VOC divided on 2. Now let's calculate here the minimum power. Here Mpp. Let's calculate Pmpp value when V equal VOC on 2, like the figure illustrated to us. Now Pmpp equal the same equation, because P actually equal IB, but here V equal VOC, that means we will put VOC, V open circuit divided on 2 instead of these two places. Here, the last Pmpp, the minimum power point equal minus VOC squared divided on 4R. Here minus VOC divided on 4R. Calculate the current, maximum current power point at this figure to short circuit below. Here, let's calculate the current maximum power, minimum power point current. Here, this diagram is different. Here, this diagram, current at y-axis and voltage at x-axis. The last one was power at x-axis. Let's come back to the general equation, 1 divided on RV minus VOC on R. Here at Impp, we will put Vp instead of V of this equation and start to calculate the last result of I minimum power point. Vp equal VOC divided on 2, like we know here at this point, at this cross. That means Impp equal minus VOC divided on 2R. Yes, here, minus VOC divided on 2R. Minus, that's normal because here we're working under the 0 point. Calculate the fill factor percentage to a battery and calculate his unit. Here, the same diagram, x-axis current at y-axis will be the voltage. He wants from us to calculate the fill factor percentage. Fill factor, that's mean Pmpp divided on P2. P2 will be this triangle, and P1 will act this figure. Okay, Pmpp equal Vp dot Impp, and P2 equal V open circuit dot I short circuit. Let's divide all of them. V maximum power point dot I minimum power point divided on V open circuit dot current short circuit. Like we know, Impp equal I short circuit divided on 2, Vp or Vmpp equal VOC divided on 2. By that, the last result percentage will equal 2500%, and here the fill factor don't has any unit because the watt will go with the watt when I divided all of them, and will be something like that. Thank you about your attention. You're listening. Have a good day.